Well, we are Griset and Josep Rivera from Open University of Catalonia. We are a distance university, and today we have come here to speak about the use of OER in our university. We have in the university the UNESCO chair in e-learning, which is very active in this subject, and we have some pilot projects about OER and repositories working in parallel. But these pilot projects are not reflected yet in the university policies. To solve this, the university has included in his strategic plan 2010-2014 a chapter about OER. We are working in this plan, so today we will speak about our conclusions of this work. Last 3 years we have published almost 100 of learning resources through our OpenCourseWare website, and we have found a lot of obstacles to do that. We have to remark that the distance university is in this aspect very different to a traditional university. The obstacles are different. We see our learning resources, our part of our property assets, and we question what's the value of our learning resource if you are giving it for free, and if we are giving an advantage to our competence. The main goal to adopt the OER model is if all the universities in the world open their learning resources, then they will reuse resources one from another, and the global expenditure will go down and the quality will go up. This is a nice goal to achieve, but we need some more practical arguments, and we have grouped the arguments in three categories. We call them the good, the bad, and the ugly. And the good guy says, if you open your resources, people will know about you and you will have more students. The bad guy says, if your resources are yet in the internet, in peer-to-peer networks or link collections, so open them, the result is the same, but you're doing marketing. And the ugly says, students go to your university just for the diploma. Even if they have your resources, they need you to obtain it. Well, we know the truth is not completely any of these arguments, but a mild of the three. We have seen that publication of OER is just a part of the OER ecosystem. Publication is the other part together with use of OER, because what's the sense of publish OER if you are not using the OER others are publishing? And well, my colleague will speak about this other part.
Hi all, could you hear me? It's on, okay. We didn't hear. Well, as Roger has mentioned, we are in the middle of a process of a strategic plan writing, and something that we notice is that we are producers of open content, but we are not consumers of open educational resources. More precisely, we have something like 100 books delivered over under an open license, but only a few of our professors and teachers are using external open educational resources. I don't know if something like that happens in your institutions. Maybe it's something related to our own model, but anyway, I think it's more common than I expected. For instance, if you go to the website of the OpenCourseWare of the MIT, there is a survey among the people that downloads open educational resources of the MIT that says that only a few of the teachers that are downloading materials are using these materials at classroom. Only 10%, something like that. The most of the professors just download the material for their own interest to learn more and things like that, but not to use the contents in classroom. What is happening is just happening in our institutions, and what we can do to improve it is what I'm going to talk in the next slides. Well, first of all, let me talk about my own institution, UOC, that is based here in Barcelona, just not far away from here, 100 meters. The headquarters is just above this building. It's a distance institution, distance university. That means that students are at home, professors are at home, they interact through a virtual campus, and something that is very specific of my university is that we send the materials that the students need before the beginning of the lessons. Well, because of that, because we have 2,000 different subjects and we produce a lot of books, we have a very solid and efficient editorial process. That means that we have our own publishing company and more than 50 people working in that specific area. They are editorials, they are people that is writing HTML and things like that. And something that is very characteristic is that when a new course is approved, the professor receives a special budget to create a book. Okay. At the same time, teachers are very busy. They are very busy, especially with administration tasks, and they have a lot of pressure to do research. They don't have any time. So you can see here a tension between trying to do new things and what they have over the table. Content is also seen as a differentiation asset. I mean, when you open a course outside and when you want that the students enroll in your own course, something that could be a good point is to have a specific book, your own specific book, and it's also considered to be a differentiation asset. But at the same time, we're in the middle of Bologna process. Bologna is something that happens here in Europe that is a change of the way universities work. It's changing from to be knowledge-based to activity-based in classroom. So we are moving from just give the content, just give the knowledge to do things in classroom. Okay, this is the internal analysis. We are more or less like that. The external analysis is that there is an open content bubble out there. Bubble in the sense of economical bubble. And the reason is that different institutions like Helwet Foundation, Mellon, and different governments, especially European governments, for instance, the Catalonian government, has put a lot of money to has given a lot of money to the universities in order that they open the contents under an open license. As much as $50 million during the last 3 or 4 years. That means a lot of money, and that means a lot of contents that maybe nobody is using. It's out there and nobody is using. What you can find if you search knowledge or search materials is that the quality of what you find is very diverse. You can find just a PowerPoint with a few slides, or you can find an amazing book of really high quality. Okay. Anyway, search all this is not that easy. I mean, because you have to go through different books just to find a chapter here and a chapter there that really adapts to your syllabus. I'm talking from the point of view of the teacher. So it's not that easy. And when you find something, then you have to adapt this content to your own language, maybe, or to your LMS system, or something like that. So search and adaptation is costly. Okay, so then we have here two different things. What we have to do in order to use external contents, and what we have to do in order to improve the publishing of open contents. First of all, what we do with external contents. Well, the objective, the goals that are behind that is, first of all, improve the quality of courses, using high quality open materials that are out there. Okay. The other is reduce costs. Well, this is a bit tricky because the cost of the material is not a big part of the cost of a course. In a recent article, Tony Bates pointed that it's just 10% of an average course. What is really what costs a lot of money in a course is the delivery of the course. That means to pay to teachers, administrative tasks, pay for technology. So maybe the material is not a big cost, but it depends on the amount of students that you have and the time that you're delivering the course. Okay, if you just have 10 students, then the material is going to be very costly. But if you have thousands of students and you do this course for a few years, then it's going to be very cheap. And then another reason to use external contents is that we are moving from create contents to be very focused on teaching. This is part of the Polonia process. And what can we do? This is the strategy. What can we do then? Well, we understand, and we're going to propose not to use external open contents in all our courses. We have to select a few of them. Which ones? Well, first of all, the ones with only a few students, because in these ones we cannot pay for a complete new material. It's maybe a best solution and a best strategy to look for something that fits the needs of our students and is for free. Also, these subjects where material is a commodity. For instance, if you teach accounting, the material of accounting is the law, the proper law. It's just the law. And the center of the course is not the material, but try that the students understand the law. Okay, so in this case, it's a lot of teaching based. So it's a good candidate to use open external resources. And also, if you are teaching a subject and there is a very high quality open educational resource out there, it's maybe a good option to use this open educational resource instead of try to write something better. Okay, but at the same time, the teachers need support because they don't have time and maybe they don't have the skills. So in parallel with the circuit to write the usual books, we are trying to build up another circuit to use external materials. Okay, this is what has to be with use external contents. But then when we publish contents, what can we do? How can we improve this field? Well, the goals behind publish open contents from the point of view of our institutions could be to improve the quality of our own contents and then the sustainability of the materials. The first one is because if you open the contents, maybe there are people out there that is going to work with these materials and improve them, or at least you have the pressure to show your own quality to the world. And sustainability is something that it's, well, we're very worried about that because, well, remember this bubble is going to go down if these contents are not used and reused. Well, again, what we have to do is select. We are going to publish under an open license because not all the contents could be published under an open license. But anyway, the key here is to try to build up a community around the open contents. I mean, an open content by itself, it's going to die. It's nothing. If nobody is using it, then it's going to end in a few months. So we have to help to our students to create a community around this content. It can be, well, the community could be a community of users. The community could be different institutions that are giving the same subject and trying to divide the cost among them and so on. And that's all. I don't know if you want to. Thank you very much, and if you have any question.